ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਸਲੀਨ ਕੌਰ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਫਿਲਮ ਬਣਾਈ ਹੈ ਮੇਪਲ ਬਟਾਲੀਆ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਮੇਪਲ ਬਟਾਲੀਆ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਹਨ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਤੰਬਰ 2011 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਰਡਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਤਰਥੱਲੀ ਮਚੀ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਤਹਿਕੀਕਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ। ਸਾਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੁੱਖ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਜਸਲੀਨ ਕੌਰ ਨੇ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਬਣਾਈ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. So a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved in this project?
So I graduated from Capilano University's Bachelor of Motion Picture Arts program.
Okay.
And shortly after I graduated, I really wanted to make a film about the issues surrounding Maple's death. And I reached out to the family and I said, I really want to learn more about Maple and the issues and raise awareness about them.
Right.
So they were behind me 100%. And I spent the year after creating the documentary.
So there were many other issues in the community. What prompted you to just focus on Maple Batalia? What was it in this particular story which you got influenced by and you thought of creating a documentary about it?
When she was murdered in 2011, I had just graduated from high school the year before, and I wasn't a filmmaker back then. I didn't really know how to make films, but I remember being really struck by her story.
Right.
And I later found out we were born on the exact same day, and we had similar aspirations in life. We were from the same community, so I remember just being really obsessed with following the case as it went on for 5 years because it took that long.
Right.
So then when I went to film school and then graduated, I was like, I need to do something, and I think my passion for this case will come through if I make a film about it.
Right. So which year then you decided that you are going to make a documentary and going to also present it before the people?
When did I decide?
Yeah.
2016 is when I started. So about
last year you started?
Yeah, so April of that year.
Okay. And now basically, you knew what has happened, but to go and start working on this project, what all is in this documentary? What have you tried to present in the documentary?
So we start the film by kind of explaining who Maple was, her friends and family talking about her, her aspirations, what she was trying to do in life. So she was an aspiring actress, model. She wanted to be a doctor. So we talk about her life, and then we talk about her issues with Gary Dollywall,
Right.
and then basically the day that she was killed, and the days leading up to it as well, and all the red flags and horrible things that were happening, and then we go into the impact that it had on the community. So we
Right.
talk about domestic violence, we talk about gender inequality, all these issues that need to be looked at, and really, we need to figure out how to fix them.
Right.
And then we talk about Maple's legacy. So there's scholarships in her name now. There was a lip gloss to raise money for the scholarship. So there's been a lot of impact that it's had on the community, and the biggest thing that I wanted to get out there with the film was her parents' message of saying, kids, talk to your parents, create a safe space for your kids so that they can actually come to you with their problems.
Right.
And really just, get that message out there, and then that's pretty much it.
So it must have been an emotional roller coaster for you, talking to near and dear of Maple and they telling you about her. And also from that, what did you deduct and what are you trying to present to the community? Because of course, that incident is condemnable. But what now further on, how can the community understand? Like you talked about that the parents and children's relationships should be strong. And also when you talk to the other youngsters and other people, what did you come out with?
Yeah, absolutely. It was an emotional roller coaster. It's not easy to ask people to talk about this horrible thing that happened in their lives. I think not only is it important for kids to talk to their parents, but we also need to create a safe space in society to let women know that there are so many resources out there if they're going through these issues. We talked to the Surrey Women's Center, who has some really great programs on helping women, really figure out how to get out of those horrible situations.
Right.
And now I have, high schools contacting me saying, this is so important, our kids need to see this, so that if they're, in abusive relationships but don't even realize it because they're so young, they need to see this, they need to understand what those red flags are and be able to come out of that.
Right. So after you talk to everyone, what would you like the community to do? Of course, you've talked about the domestic violence situation, the situation in homes where children feel threatened to talk to their parents, or they just keep it to their own selves, or even don't talk to anyone. But how can the community come forward when, of course, this incident, as I said, is condemnable, but what can the community do to further help the society and also these children who are in those abusive relationships or who do not know what to do at that time?
I think it goes down to the little things. So, raising our boys properly, telling them that they're not better than their sisters, gender inequality from a young age is so important to really hone into. I also think it's, little things like if you hear a misogynistic comment, right, like tell the person off if you hear that, don't let these things slide, because it's the little things that contribute to a bigger problem.
Right. But what about the friends circle where Maple used to go around and talk to those friends? So when you talk to them, what was it which portrayed Maple's personality, and which also the other people who are watching this program today, or those youngsters who are in those kind of relationships, they should come to know what they should be proud of and how they can become stronger?
I think that if you see something, say something. Like for her friends, like it was so hard for them because they saw that something was off, but they didn't really understand how bad it was, because Maple was also really good.
They couldn't comprehend, it would go to such an extent.
Yeah, and Maple was really good at keeping those things a secret as well. So she didn't let anybody know that she was struggling so much. So I think her friends definitely, they also want to educate people and say, this is what a healthy relationship looks like. If it's not this way, then, do something about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Jasleen, what is the name of this documentary, and when are you screening it?
So it's called Meatball, and we're screening it on November 18th as part of the Vancouver International South Asian Festival.
Right.
So we're very, very happy to be included in that this year. And we're screening it on November 18th at 3:45 at SFU Surrey, which is actually the location where Maple was killed.
And finally, this is the starting for you, in this particular field of films, documentary films. You're planning something further also, how you're going to continue with your passion of filmmaking and documentary making?
Yeah, so this is the first documentary that I've directed, but I've also been producing with a company called Haji Films.
Okay.
So that company is known for their documentaries as well. So I'm producing on that side and learning as much as I possibly can. I don't have anything in the works that I'm directing next, but I'll definitely keep my social media pages updated if I am.
So when you're working on a real project, there are many things, many aspects which you have to keep in mind, many things which you have to, take out. So towards the end, tell us that in this documentary, how much time, energy did it take for you, and what are the people going to see? Is just going to be like just a camera in hand taking interviews and that's what is presented, or there's something more in depth into it?
I think you'll see a lot of the passion come through. I didn't do this for money. I honestly just wanted to learn about Maple and raise awareness about the issues that took her. So you'll definitely see, a lot of interviews, emotional interviews with her friends and family. But it's like a passion project of mine, so hopefully that comes through.
Wonderful. And it is 18th of
November.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you. We'll go for a short break. We'll come back and then we'll talk to Poonam Batalia also, who is the niece of Maple. So thank you for your hard work and best wishes for your future endeavors.
Thank you for having me.
ਸੋ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਸਲੀਨ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਬਣਾਈ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਇੱਕ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈਗਾ। ਮਕਸਦ ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਅਪੀਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਅਬਿਊਜ਼ਿਵ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਐਸਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਦੇ, ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੋਸਤ ਸੱਜਣ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ, ਉਹ ਚੁੱਪ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਜਸਲੀਨ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਫਿਲਮ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਇਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਨਜਸਟਿਸ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਬਣਾਈ ਹੈ, ਅਤੇ ਆਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈ, ਪੈਸਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਮੋਟਿਵ, ਮਕਸਦ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੇਪਲ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣ ਪਹਿਚਾਣ ਚੱਲੇ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗਾ ਸਮਾਜ ਸਿਰਜ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਪੂਨਮ ਬਟਾਲੀਆ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ।